Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Removing the Mathis Curse stream. And just like the powerhouse of the cell, which is the mitochondria, the players are the powerhouse of this stream. So,
That's one powerful metaphor.
I know. I am not
I just
deep.
pointed at my cat.
I thought about that before the stream, and I had to keep that in my head or else I would have lost it. So yes, we're back. I'll begin the introductions. My name is Nick, and that is a cat, and it's a very cute but also grumpy cat.
I really want to vote for that cat having its own window in this stream the whole time.
Yes.
Weird stuff.
Get her some dice, teach her to roll.
Good. Yes. So let's see. We're gonna do this right here. We are going to go with Kixix mantra. So, Tiefling Barbarian. Just got the shit scared out of him by all this stuff that's happening, and honestly doesn't understand it. But he's ready for a fight, even though it might mean death. So that's me, and I'm gonna hand it over to the Kev Man.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I play Bosco. Bosco is the former familiar of a wizard who has remained off screen the entire but I am a very good boy and a agent for the Celestial Bureau of Familiar Affairs, and currently helping August acclimate to her new unnamed ghost monkey familiar.
Ghost monkey.
Ghost monkey chunky.
And that segues perfectly into Rosie's intro.
My name's August. I have a ghost monkey now. He's really dope. I also see dead people and have a really just weird family. Just weird. But yeah, Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I am playing Taika Ashton, who is oh my god, I'm a warlock. I forgot the actual term. I kept thinking like witch. Anyway, I am a warlock. I'm also a bear shifter, and I have a fox familiar. I think that's it. And Derek.
I'm Derek. I kind of put a story together for these guys, and we'll go from there. Today, it's been a little while since we come back, so I'll give a little bit of a recap. This all started with a train ride a long time ago where they moved to a city to where they were given an invitation to come to the city and find out about this Mathis family. After that debacle of a town nearly burning down, not their fault, mind you, but still, they moved on to the city of Antwerp, where they were helping to arrange a prison break to save Melody Mathis and the last surviving member of the Mathis family, at least that, there was a conversation, there was a planting of some explosives, and then there was the group left. Taika had a separate, after the group left, Taika went off and had a separate conversation with this sprite that she had found, or that was given to her, that was in a jar. And the rest of them went and recovered a ghost monkey from the R&D department, basically the R&D department of the Celestial Bureau of Familiar Affairs.
Oh my, and we left without the instructions.
What?
And we left without the instructions.
Yep. Yep.
Oh no.
And when they were coming out, the explosions that they expected to happen took place, as well as a lot of other explosions. The arrival of two angels, the arrival of a tall man in a dark robe leading a band of dead musicians through the streets, who this man essentially then caused many other explosions to happen in the town, and defeated an angel with like no kind of effort. And that's when the party like, okay, let's see. What the hell is really going on? We have no idea. We're really lost here. This is not making sense. And when we left off, you guys were at the gates. Taika had just arrived. But I'm going to have to put everybody else on hold and go to Taika for a moment because there's a conversation that she had with this sprite while you guys were dealing with the other stuff, like getting the ghost monkey. So I need to cover that very quickly. So when we actually will focus now in a dark room that is part of the hideout for August's family. Taika's alone in this room. There's a small table, a chair, a little bit of candlelight. The whole room's in a dark bluish black kind of shade. Even though there might be other light sources outside, the windows are heavily covered with paper, and it looks like some sort of tar there to block out pretty much anybody who might want to look in. And you are essentially alone with this sprite who is in a jar.
Okay.
It has been kind of just patiently looking at you. Although you get a feeling that it does not enjoy being jarred up, but it's probably the safest thing that you could have done to at least bring it here to let it go before, just letting it loose in the middle of a town might not be a great thing for I'm starting to talk and then okay.
Unfair use of chat. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Stop.
No, it's okay.
We got side comments. Sorry.
No, I just got smurfed and it was Kevin that did it. So, inspiration for you.
Oh,
Nice.
Kevin.
I will click that button because I do stupid things and I occasionally need that inspiration.
I was kind of expecting that from Nick. I thought it was Nick for a minute, but I had to go back and double check. So.
Wait, that's
I'm
his
sorry.
beard. That's not oh.
So,
because inadvertently sexy cartoons are kind of your thing.
Please stop adding me.
well, no. So, no, it seems like that would be the kind of thing that Nick might post. But anyway,
you're not wrong.
sorry.
So,
yeah. So, Katie, Taika, the stage is set now that you can choose what you want to do with this. You know that your companions are kind of busy doing a ritual right now, and you've had some, mostly the Fey spirits that have kind of talked to you through like the trees or through weird things. But this is like a direct communication with like a creature from the Feywild.
Okay.
And this is like maybe not the first time you've done this, but this is like obviously a very recent thing. But this is a very it's a very big kind of honor in your group to be able to talk to this creature at this moment. So, it's in the jar. The jar, it's not like completely airtight. It's not going to kill it or anything. So, what would you like to do?
So I guess first I ask, how did you get to be in this jar? Like, how did you get to where you're at right now?
Oh, that was very simple. And there's a moment. The sprite stretches its arms out. They kind of takes its wings. There's a couple of flutters, and it says, "Well, I was a delivery person. I was delivering a message from the dryad that's at the tree outside mine. I was trying to tell the human not to go inside because the trickster had gotten the rod and there was the big thing going on. And then I got put in a jar, and I actually don't know how I ended up in the jar, except that the human was carrying me around going, I was going to grant him wishes because he's too stupid to know that I can't grant people wishes. Why would I can't. That's not what I do. I just tie shoes together and do other kinds of stuff. But it's not I don't grant wishes.
Right. You said the trickster got the rod? What does that mean?
Well, no, I didn't say that. I said nothing. I was just trying to deliver a message about a corned beef sandwich.
I just kind of looked very, very, like, confused. But not quite confused, like I believe this, but why she's trying to, like, pull this over on me, or he, whatever the gender this right may have.
It's actually a little hard to tell, but it doesn't really. I mean, the thing is, for them, it doesn't really matter,
right?
Like gender-wise. So it's kind of, it's just a sprite. At this point, it's like, okay, well, it's simple. I work for the dryad that's in the tree in front of the mine. The dryad's been protecting the mine for too long. But in the mine, well, do you like? Okay, so okay, and it takes it takes a deep breath, and it's like, okay, so I tell you what, you let me out of the jar, and you let me go, and I will tell you the whole story.
I don't know if I believe that.
Well, that's your only option. And then it sits down, and it folds its wings kind of up from its back over its arms, so it kind of comes down like kind of these almost shoulder pad like things that come down, and it crosses its arms, and it screws its little face up into this like mean, like, I'm not going to do anything you want me to do thing, but if you let me out of the jar, I will tell you the story.
And what if I shake you?
Oh shit!
That escalated quickly.
You are okay. I love it.
Why don't you throw a little intimidation onto that?
Bring it, Rita Skeeter.
I don't even have my character sheet up. Oh my god, I'm a mess today.
Oh, it's okay. You get a +2. Yeah, so you get a +2 to intimidation. So if you want to roll a d20 and add 2 to that number.
That's a 19.
Well, if you shake me, I don't think the boss would like that. Fine. Okay, it wasn't about a sandwich. Okay. A long time ago, there was a man named Lego who came to the Feywild and stole a rod from one of the lords. He took it here, and when he brought it here, well, it's not a normal rod. It kind of just, it makes things happen, and it makes illusions real, and it makes well, I mean, look, the Lord used to use it to put on these grand shows where we would all watch, the history of things, of all things that we had done before, and they were so real and so vivid that you could reach out and you could touch the image of yourself, and it was you. You could feel it. The illusions were solid. They were fleeting. They left, but they were solid. Well, when this bard arrived, he played a song that confused the Lord and stole the rod and brought it back here. The dryad of the tree there managed to keep him from leaving the mine with the rod, but so when he placed the rod there, and where he decided to abandon the rod there, and he left, all kinds of stuff has happened now in this mine. And the thing is, it's been building up and coming out of the mine. Like, people are seeing things that aren't, or people have seen things that aren't real, but there's also like illusions that are happening that are kind of real, and that things, it's no longer clear. And the Lord wants his rod back, but he's not going to come himself. So he sent all of us to go around and do our things, and I'm just a messenger. All I do is deliver messages. I work for the dryad down at the tree near the mine. That's really all I do, and that's all I really know. I mean, that's really all I know. So don't shake me. Just let me go, and I'll put in a good word with the boss.
I would let you go. I do feel bad for you being in this space, but I don't think this is the best place to let you go. Would it be okay if I hold on to you for a while until we get to a safer place?
Okay, but if you break your word, I know some nasty little red caps that would come and just it takes a little hand and puts a finger across its throat. He goes, they just come and do that, and then they would just take you away. So
fair enough.
If you follow your rules, or if you follow the rules and you let me go out there, then we're all fine. But I don't grant wishes, and don't shake me.
I know you don't grant wishes, and I will not shake you.
Besides, if I could grant wishes, do you think I'd be here in a jar?
Probably not. But genies get stuck in lamps.
Well, genies are dumb. They have these rules that they have to follow and everything. Rules are stupid. You just let me out, and let me out when I'm outside. That is a good idea. You know what? I will make sure the boss knows your name. What is your name again?
Taika Ashton.
Okay. So Taika, we're gonna leave soon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you one other thing. It's not related to this, but it is kind of funny. Do you know that I wasn't always a sprite?
What were you before?
A birthday cake.
No.
I was just guessing.
I used to be a dragon.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, of course. It's a big dragon. I used to eat all kinds of men and spit out their armor and live on a big pile of coins. And then I had you know how many diamonds I had? They were the small ones here and the big ones over there. And I just there was a big line of them. I was a nasty and powerful red dragon.
So how did you become a sprite?
That's a good question. I think what happened was, I'm sorry. I'm not feeling so well now. I don't think there's enough air in this jar. I'm gonna have to stop talking right now for a minute. And it kind of just goes silent. And it looks a little like it starts to sway around a little bit, like it's getting a little woozy. You obviously can see that the jar is, is punctured enough. There's enough ventilation that it can breathe. So there's really no question that it is trying to play something.
The flute.
Hmm.
So as you're having this conversation with it, you start to hear the explosions in the background outside, and the other people that are in this safe house have kind of come running in and kind of direct you towards leaving the place and heading out the front gate. They say that they may have seen your companions that way.
Quick, save Private Ryan.
Whoa!
And it's the jailbreak has partially been a success, but there's something else going on. They don't know what's going on, but it seems like the entire town's being asked to evacuate.
Gingerbread men everywhere.
Okay, so I'll just like put the jar in my cloak and I'll head out.
So as you're following it through the streets, you see that there's this black ash just falling pretty much everywhere. It's kind of like it's snowing now. But when you notice it though, there's two types of something going on. Like some of that ash is like actual like burning fire, like not burning fire, but like things that have been burnt by the fire. And another part of that ash is it lands on your fingers. Since you have quite a bit of experience with this kind of stuff, I would like you to make a nature check. If you don't have your sheet yet, you have a +2 to that.
Okay. That's a 13.
You're not quite sure what type of spore they are, but some of the stuff that is falling out with the ash is black spores, and not ash at all.
Is there anybody around me right now?
Yeah, there's several like the townsfolk and everything, but everybody's kind of panicked and running out the town. The rest of you, the one guy has offered to stay with you to kind of direct you to where he last, or where he was told your companions might be. But the rest of these people, they're just not kind of really paying attention. They're running. You do see, you see in the sky, there's now there's a large, probably a 14, 15 foot tall angel with a flaming sword kind of directing things, shouting at stuff. And there's like more explosions, and you also see some yeah, make a perception check.
Okay. That's 15.
There's also for a brief second you see a glint of something in the sky. And it kind of looks a bit like the Sprite that's in your jar. For that brief moment, it looks like it has some sort of pouch, and it's just kind of tossing things about the air. And those things that it seems to be tossing are probably those spores that a few had landed on you.
Do I know anything more about those spores? Like what they do?
No, in fact, they don't look. I mean, they are not particularly. They don't. They don't exactly look like any that you've seen locally. But imagine that the experience with like some of the local mushrooms and some of this other stuff that they do produce spores. They can have a wide variety of effects, but looking around, you would have to say that these are somehow either possibly inducing fear or increasing or maybe making it harder to judge the reality of things, because you're now starting to see a few people that seem to be a little like glassy-eyed, a little stumbly, but it doesn't seem to be affecting you at this moment.
Okay. So I'm gonna cover my mouth and try and keep as many spores out of my orifices as possible.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Coronavirus. No.
Yeah, and
You're
you
wearing
make your way.
N95 mask.
Oh yeah.
You make your way. He leads you. The man with you leads you through. And you get about. You can see the gate is about like 20 feet from you, and you see your companions are on the other side of that gate, and the guy next to you just starts screaming loudly that he's on fire and he's burning. And when you look at him, you don't see any fire.
He's burning with desire.
Wow, what an impulse liar! Like Jesus.
You
He's really selling it though.
You don't see any fire, but he does definitely seem to believe that he is on fire.
Just tell him to stand still. Like, yikes.
And then you hear that little voice of. Then you hear that little voice of the sprite. It's kind of muffled under your thing. It's like, hey.
God, fucking throw it already. Like, Jesus. Shake it really hard. Give it shaking baby syndrome or something like that.
I'm gonna pull it out of my cloak and hold it up to my face and be like, "What is going on? What's happening?"
What?
It's like, do you believe in fairies? And he starts laughing.
I'm right here.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, look at the guy again. Look really closely. I want you to make an insight check. No, not insight. Yeah, actually, make an insight check.
Okay. 18.
Yep. When you look, you look really, really closely, and you see he's really reacting to this fire. He's really, but you're not seeing any of this flame. And then it's like, if you believe, all kinds of good stuff can happen. But you don't really see anything. So you're like, you can, you're at this position now. I don't know what you would want to do. Your companions aren't too far away from you. But you also have this guy rolling around, writhing on the floor, swearing he's on fire. And from what you can see, these things that may be seeding the spores, they seem to be stopping after you get out of the gate or after the gates. They don't appear to be leaving the city.
Okay. I'm gonna try and drag him with me.
Okay. Yeah. So you grab him. I'm gonna say the safest place to kind of grab him is his legs, because his upper body is flailing around a lot. So you might have to pull him by his legs. But okay. So what I want you to do is, at first you're able to get him about 10 feet, but then he feels like it looks like he kind of gets a grasp on things for just a moment, and tries to fight you while still screaming that he's on fire and you're not helping him. So I need you to make an athletics, athletics check to see if you can continue to pull him if you want to try to pull him more.
Are we close enough to see what's going on there?
At about the time when she gets like around this corner where she's pulling this guy and then he starts to fight, that's when you guys can actually see her there kind of trying to pull this guy by his feet. He seems to be writhing around. The upper half of his body seems to be writhing around. You hear him screaming about fire. And you do see there are fires. There are tons of there's tons of smoke and ash coming out, but nothing major. Like, he doesn't appear to be on fire.
Okay. There is so much going on. I think we're probably responsible for. Taika, I'm just gonna put my chalkboard up and try to wave it around to get her attention.
Okay, I'm gonna look over.
We're over here. Why? What? Who's your friend?
This guy thinks he's on fire.
And
But
August,
he's
you
not.
recognize him. You don't quite remember his name, but you recognize him as kind of like one of the like low-level but recent recruits to your family's business. His job would have probably been to watch the safe room with Taika there in case anything happened, and to probably escort her out of the city if the situation was too dire.
Shit, I don't know.
Do you know that dude?
Yeah, he's normally not crazy.
Okay, so
Are you sure you background checked him before you added him? Like,
I mean,
So-
we do background checks.
Katie,
We
what
don't
was your
care.
athletics check?
11.
Okay.
Katie instant die.
Actually, yeah.
Oh.
He starts a new round. He starts a new round of screaming that he is totally on fire and his face is melting, and he reaches up his hands to try to like pat out his face, therefore not being able to hold on to the ground anymore, and you just give him a good yank, and you're able to get about 20 feet more right to the edge of the gate and where your companions are.
Okay.
Hey, what's up?
I'm gonna like bend down and try and brush the spores off him as much as I can.
You think at this point,
Can?
you think at this point though, it's not necessarily the spores on the skin. I mean, it might, well, that could lead to reinfection. So yeah, it's a good idea to wipe them off. But it's probably more like anything that he's already kind of inhaled that is actually causing this effect.
Okay.
So to prevent further infection, because coronavirus, can I press to digitize him clean?
Yes,
and then we go from there?
Actually, you can, yes.
So we're not worried about getting infected, but we can try to
Yeah.
help him.
Except that if you step into the gate to help him, like, what's the range on prestidigitation?
10 feet.
Yes, yeah, I could do that without. But I do need the rest of you to make perception checks right now. As you clean them, and Taika, you help pull them out.
Let's see. Ugh. That's
Sorry, I didn't actually.
I got a 5.
Okay. Bosco, you swear for half a minute that you see a somewhat, I guess the best way to describe it is a creature that goes from being invisible to or visible to invisible at will, based on like it does an action, becomes visible while it's doing the action, and then immediately fades. It looks like a small. It looks a lot like that looks like a small sprite, but it seems to have this bag, and it seems to be throwing handfuls of those black spores that August just cleaned off the guy. It's there for a minute, it throws a handful and fades away. The big difference between, say, the sprite that you saw in the jar and this thing is it's got big black kind of bug eyes, whereas the sprite has more like kind of elven, or like more human eyes. The thing throwing the spores had kind of like big black compound like lens eyes.
But that still is within the realm of what a sprite can be.
That's the realm of a fey creature of some sort. Okay. That one might not be specifically a sprite, whereas the sprite, like in the one in the jar, is probably a sprite.
And he was throwing the
black tossing spores. A handful of spores out and then fades away.
At anything specific, or just tossing them?
Just seeding them around. It seems like you watch closely and you see it kind of flit here, throw a handful of spores, disappear, reappear like 10 feet off the one side, and kind of do it again. And it just seems to be throwing them randomly in doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason. It doesn't seem to be targeting people, just tossing.
Chalkboard goes up. Something is spreading these spores on purpose. Small and mostly invisible. Do not like it.
That is hella scary, and I want to fight it. But if I can't see it, I can't fight. Bro, this is fucking. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put a low level growl on this one. Do not like.
Okay, so you manage to pull the guy out. You back off, and you're able to survey the situation from the relative safety outside the gate. You have a few people run by, and they just run off into the woods, and you're not quite sure, or run off into the flat areas, and then off deep beyond your field of vision to wherever they're going. Most of the people seem to be what?
They'll be fine.
Yeah, most of the people seem to be fleeing in. Although there's a good portion of it that seems to be like leaving intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the occasional person, just like the guard down here, who's flailing around that they're on fire, or there's some woman claiming that there's snakes in her arms, and there's like all this stuff going on, and
August, is this normal for Antwerp? I don't have a.
I would say no.
Okay, this is not normal. Okay.
Damn, I was gonna say, like,
this is not normal, and this is also not like, this isn't the kind of thing that like your family is they try to be very precise on what they do and when they help people. So those packets like of explosives that you would have placed in there, they would have been very controlled. They would have been very
covered up.
Yep. It's kind of like that. It would have been a very it would have been a professional job. Whatever's going on here doesn't feel professional. It feels purely chaotic. So maybe somebody used the prison break as a starting point to do something else.
Somebody's being an asshole.
Absolutely.
And it's not me for once?
Any idea who?
You got me, bro.
Going to get blamed.
Huh?
I feel like we're going to get blamed for this, whatever. We should probably try to stop it.
Yeah, let's do that.
You had a different idea.
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
I agree. Let's stop it.
Can I sniff out that creature that was spreading the spores without ingesting a snoot full of?
That might be a bit of a problem.
Okay.
Because there is such a big concentration of the gunpowder smoke, the fires going on, the actual spores that are being thrown around by these creatures, but you have a feeling, and as Taika pointed out as well, I believe. Wait, did you did tell them? No, you didn't tell them just yet. You hadn't had a chance to yet. Sorry, but there seems to be more than one creature tossing the spores out. It seems to be very widespread. Yeah.
I haven't noticed that yet, or had a chance to, right?
We had a perception check a minute ago. You can make another one now if you'd like.
I called out that was happening.
Yeah. So he did. So you know what? Give yourself advantage on that because Bosco has called out that there's something there distributing the spores. So now what you're actually trying to do is see if you can visibly see, even for a moment, what these things are. And actually, anybody else can make a perception check as well.
Okay, I'll try it again.
When you said perception check, I rolled well, but the last two didn't happen. I thought maybe, I don't know. I fucking hate my life. I rolled nothing.
Okay. Did you take advantage on that?
Yes, the first time I rolled a 17, then this time I rolled a 4 and a 5 because I didn't think I was allowed to last time.
I rolled a 6.
No, your 17 would have counted because I tried to say that I said that everybody
I thought it was
could
just
roll.
Bosco.
No, I said that everybody rolled, so your 17 would have counted. So you don't maybe see it initially, but you are able to eventually, with Bosco's help, be pointed out. You see these creatures that pop in and out every so often. In Kixik, what did you have?
I got a 6.
Yeah. You don't see that much was going on, and Taika, this guy is halfway out of the gate. You're fully out of the gate. Was there something? And he's been cleaned off. Was there something else you wanted to try to do with him, or you have a feeling if it's like anything, like kind of, it's probably hit a hard thing where whatever he has going on, if he's in the fresh air environment, it will run its course.
Okay.
But it's not, you can't really, I mean, maybe if you had a cure poison ability, or, well, you could try a medical check and see if you could do something, or medicine check.
Okay.
I'm always a fucking human.
What do you mean?
Like, I have no special, I cannot help you because I am merely a fucking human. So, I have nothing.
Well, me as Celestial Dog isn't doing much better.
Yeah, I don't.
What about me?
Do you need a minor illusion? Because I can give you that.
1 second. I missed what Katie said.
Sorry.
I got a 10.
Okay. So with the medicine check, you do realize that you kind of don't have something necessary to be able to cure it, but giving him plenty of fluids, letting him rest, and it will process itself through. It's not like a permanent thing. These spores are not, at least what you've gathered so far, they're not going to permanently damage him unless he were to, say, harm himself in this time. So if you can manage to secure his safety, he'll be fine.
Okay. So is everybody aware of the dragon, or is that just me? The dragon that looks like the sprite that I have.
Dragon?
I don't see any dragon.
This is first I'm hearing about a dragon.
Yeah.
Did I miss
No,
it?
nobody else, because you're the only one with this sprite. So you're the only one that's had this conversation with the sprite. So you can talk to the others.
So, you know about my sprite in the jar. There is a dragon that looks an awful lot like my sprite in the sky.
Where?
That's a lie.
Well, it's not exactly staying in one spot, but it's, the sky.
Don't.
August, you see all sorts of things we can't see, and we don't judge you for it.
I was joking.
Oh wait, yeah. I mean the other option is if you have detect invisibility, which I don't even know if it's a thing anymore.
I do not have detect invisibility.
I don't either.
I have a.
I feel like no one would take that.
I have a minor illusion if you need it, and also disguise self, but that's it.
I have identify.
Oh, because it's now called see invisibility.
Yeah. I feel like
but
nobody
it's also
would take that.
Very few people take that.
Except this exact scenario right here where it would be.
It would have been perfect. Yeah.
Does anybody have like that thing that outlines people?
The
no
fairy fire.
Yeah,
the thing that outlines people.
Yeah.
Whatever. I have it on the other character who I always confuse with this character.
Taika, the sprite kind of giggles when you say a dragon.
Smug.
And you kind of get the feeling that it kind of tried to play you for it was trying to play some joke with you, but you're not sure. Like, it didn't quite reach the level of like mortal humor, but it doesn't matter to a sprite.
Why are you giggling?
Oh, because you think I was actually a dragon. I'm not a dragon. I mean, I can tell you what's going on here if you'd like. The dryad could probably tell you more. I mean, all I know is those guys up there, they're not nice. They kind of work for the Lord who had his rod stolen, and they're kind of just sowing. Well, I don't know. They kind of look like they work for the Lord. You know, maybe I've been a little hard on you. We don't really follow mortal rules here, so I mean, this is a mortal place, but we don't follow mortal rules because they're boring and they're annoying and they're trying to have fun, and I really shouldn't harsh their fun. It's not really my place to do that. But
rules are the only thing that matter.
No, they don't.
Muscles
are the only thing that matter.
If you were to go to the mine and talk to the dryad, I'm sure she could really fill you in on everything. But I will tell you what little bit I know.
Bitch.
These people up here, these buggers, they follow the rod. So wherever the rod is, they come to play.
Oh, I know.
They kind of like to start fires and hurt people and like not harmless pranks, not fun in games. They really like to destroy things, and they work for whoever has the rod.
Well, if the dryad's going to have some way to solve this, we should rush there.
That's what I was thinking.
And as you start to you make your way around, and I gather you find after a short while, as you're having this discussion and getting things together, you're able to get the man to settle down. He still seems to be having some effect to it, but he's not screaming that he's on fire. But he is telling you that he sees about 14 black spots flying in the air, and apparently being infected allows him to know what's going on.
So they are Legion.
I don't want to be infected.
Because no, it's not it doesn't seem to be a suggestion. It's not a good thing. Let's go and do this. This is just a bad side effect, or this is a side effect of it. Please, people, let me put up the sign. Don't use spores.
I'm gonna let that guy go about his day on fire or not as he sees. Because I really can't do much for him. But I think rushing towards that dryad as quickly as possible is a good idea.
I agree.
We're all friends.
Let's rush.
Should we take him with us?
Nick, are you chewing on Jim Darkjake?
No, I'm not chewing on him.
He follows. He wants to follow you, but he also wants to suddenly follow the rainbow that he sees. So
watch out for leprechauns, my friend. We gotta go.
It's kind of up to you. Like you could take the extra time to kind of drag him along, or you can just let him wander off to whatever he's going to wander off to. It doesn't look like there's really that much danger as long as he doesn't run back into the city.
I'm sure he'll
be. I'm just going to let him go about his business. I don't care that much.
Yeah. Okay, so you leave him off, and he starts chasing this rainbow, and in general, the sprite's like, okay, so is you're gonna go this way and that way, and there's a hill, and then right up over the hill, there's a big tree. The big tree is where the boss lives, and right near the big tree is the entrance to the mine. Last time I knew, everything was clear. But I have been in a jar for a couple of days, so I can't tell you what's going on. Scouts honor. If you don't know what scouts are about, you'll figure that out eventually. But when you meet some of them, they're oh, anyway, sorry. Down over the hill, and then there's a tree, and there's a mine, and the tree the boss is at, and that all the questions that you have will be answered.
Charge.
If I let you out, will you show us the way?
Oh my god, don't do that. Don't fucking do
that. Absolutely.
If she lets you out, will you be quiet?
Shut up, dog.
Growl.
Wow. You know what? No, shake the fucking bottle. Shake the bottle.
It reaches out of its belt that pulls out this real tiny dagger. It's almost like holding a thumbtack, and it's like waves it menacingly. Well, what it feels is menacingly at Bosco. It's like, I don't have to take it from you. You're not the boss.
I am just going to throw my nose up in the air and prance really past him, knowing full well that the Celestial Bureau's softball team beats the Fey Bureau's softball team every year.
Well, yeah, that's because we'd rather be picking flowers than playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Or making flowers grow, or the orgy. All this other stuff instead of playing softball. But
wait, aren't you neutered?
What? It's like
you're bragging about an orgy. Might as well call him out for being neutered.
Damn.
To the dryad.
No. Yes. So as you come around this corner, standing with his arms crossed, you come around the corner and you come up over this hill, and this tree is supposed to be there, and the mine is supposed to be there, and they're just about 50 feet further down there. It's not really, but the sprite didn't mislead you. because he didn't really tell you how far away they were. They were just over it. It was kind of, so they made it clear they're over this way. When they did this, you come over this hill and he goes, looks really quickly up to Tiger and goes, I did not know this was going to happen. I swear, I swear, I swear. Don't shake me. Standing about 50 feet from you is that large black man in his robe, and there are 4 of his little children band members. And he kind of looks at you, and he pulls out this small silver rod. He's like, you have been a thorn in my side, obviously unknowingly, from the beginning. So, we are going to settle this today, once and for all. What do you say?
We tried to ignore you as often as we could.
Wow, you're being a little bit of a bitch right now, and you need to stop.
Why don't I get an initiative roll from everybody?
Gross. I mean, sure. Oh, fuck yeah, nat 20.
16.
13.
That's the only good roll that's gonna happen tonight.
And Bosco, you said 5?
Yep.
That was the number you got last time. It's funny, because on my tracker...
I'm not in any rush.
Yeah.
On my tracker, I didn't have to actually change your...
I will pet you aggressively until you stop.
Okay, so
Yes.
the man standing before you with the silver rod in his hand points the silver rod at Kixik, and you see him say a word. A flash of blue light comes out. I need you to make a wisdom save.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Targeting your weakness, is he?
It's not my weakness, but... Oh, I got a 7.
Okay. When this bright blue light kind of hits you, for this round and this round only, you are there's no additional save needed because the effect ends at the end of your round. You are essentially stuck pondering, like a stray thought hit your head about how many socks you'd have to wear to climb a mountain, and then you can't get that thought out of your head until you figure out the actual answer to that. So now you are, for this round, stuck trying to figure out how many socks you'll have to wear to climb a mountain.
Damn, that's so on brand, though, so I'm just gonna let it happen.
Yeah. It's a trick question. You
Ow.
said.
Fuck yeah, okay, cool.
But as he does that, the silver rod in his hand, like, snaps and cracks and crumbles and falls out of his hand. And the second he does that, the child band members that you look, they kind of change. They are small mechanical men with broken instruments kind of strapped to them, and this person standing before you is Lego.
Fucking asshole.
Wow, okay, you fucking poser bitch.
I'm so sick of fake people.
Yeah, you know what? Someone's gonna get... Wow.
It's like,
Unbelievable.
I made the deal. Why didn't this work?
Oh, wow.
Cause you're a trash hole.
Oh my god.
Lego, you're a trash.
And
You have no idea what you're doing.
I'm sorry?
You have no idea what you're doing.
Yep.
Stupid.
Yeah,
whatever.
absolute bitch. Like, what the fuck?
So, in response to that, Kick6, you go now, actually.
Cool. I'm gonna fucking dude. No, actually, what I'm gonna do is this this is very confusing to me. That this
Cast sword.
What?
Cast
Do the thing.
sword.
He said
Oh.
cast sword repeatedly.
Yeah. I'm gonna take my goddamn my improvised weapon
Right.
and
Spam your actions.
yeah,
Spam your action.
I'm gonna sorry, I'm gonna go into rage because this is actually making me angry. And I'm just gonna be like, all right, fuckhead. I'm gonna go up and use my my improvised weapon and just attack.
Okay, are you attacking one of the mechanical men or Lego?
You know what? Let's go for fucking Lego. Like, this bench needs a thing or two about lying to me.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I can't see my dice tray. Hold on. Okay, there we go. That's a 4. Aha! Oh wait, it's disadvantage.
It's
So
disadvantage, so you could get worse than a 4.
wow. No,
Let me
I got
know
17.
if you get worse than a 4.
No, I got better than a 4, and I'm sad.
So, Kick6, you start to rage, and you make your run in
Out
with
of
your
my
blade.
anger, I get too distracted by my anger, and I sidestep a little bit, tripping on myself. And I catch it thankfully, but I unfortunately miss the swing, and it
Yep.
throws me off my mojo. It just makes me even angrier.
Okay, that sounds excellent to me at this point. And for those of you that don't remember, Lego is about a 65-year-old man, kind of
He's a
wispy,
bitch.
like kind of bone thin, kind of very prominent nose. Was a violinist and a bard, and apparently the mayor of the city. Okay, at one time, the city of Rustgrave at one time. In response to you rushing up, one of the mechanical men moves forward, and will a 15? No, will a 15 hit you? No, right, Nick?
Nick.
Are you dead?
He has 17 AC, so it wouldn't. So it swings its like kind of broken drum at you, and you still being angry. The drum just kind of grazes you, but doesn't like cause you to have any concern. Nick went dark.
Did we? Yeah, we're still
I
streaming.
don't think we lost Nick. I think he just went dark.
Did Nick lose himself?
Taika, it's your turn.
Okay. Uh,
I'll text him. Pulse check, you fucking bitch.
so how far away am I from everybody? The enemies?
Well, you're mostly with your group because you guys were traveling over the hill. Lego is only about it's about 30 feet at that point. The rest of these little men are kind of surrounding him, not in a great defensive position, but they're kind of like almost on the cardinal directions of like his body. There's like one in front of him, one behind him, one to either side of him. But they're about 20, they're about 10 feet from him. So you're really, there he is. You're only about 30 feet from the nearest target.
Sorry about that. I fell down the stairs a little bit. I'm back. Did I?
What?
Oh,
What?
you got swung at, but it missed you.
Okay, good. Sorry. Yeah, I fell down the stairs. That was fun. Cool. I'm glad that it missed me, and I'm still gonna be angry that it tried to swipe at me. No.
Yeah. So, yeah, Taika, you're 30 feet to the closest target. About 40 feet to the man. The closest target is one of the little mechanical band members.
Okay. I'm going to try and stab the mechanical band member in front of me with my dagger.
Sure. Okay. Go on ahead.
Okay.
Let's get an attack roll. Which I believe is...
What?
Nick playing with darkness.
So yeah, should have a +3 to hit that.
Okay, so that's an 18.
And that will hit.
Okay, and then a 3.
3 damage. Okay. So you strike down with this dagger against this mechanical man. You actually are able to find a part that he seems to have like mostly a metal body with mechanical gears, but there's some portions that are like wood, and you get a good deep cut on this joint that would be its shoulder, but being a machine, it doesn't really seem to register the pain, but it does look like you got a decent attack on it. Did you have any bonus actions or anything else you'd want to do?
I guess I'll try and back away a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So you move forward, you make your stab, and then you back away the rest of your distance so that you so you take a little bit of a step back. This thing does not seem to have the ability to react to you moving in and out of its threatened area, so that's good for you.
Okay.
August.
Why, hello. How close am I to the thing?
You're roughly about, the furthest one away is about 40 feet.
That's really far. Okay. So, I'm going to stay where I am and do Ray of Sickness. Because that goes 60 feet.
Okay.
Green stuff shoots out. Allegedly. Let's see if I hit it.
Are you attacking Lego or one of the band members?
I'm attacking Lego because he's an asshole. And I have a vendetta now. $12, $13, $14, $16.
16 will hit, yes.
Yes. 2d8. 9. Because I don't have a plus.
Okay.
Suck.
So you fire off your Ray of Sickness. It extends out the sickly green energy. It hits him, and there's a moment where it just, when it impacts, the energy kind of seems to spread all across his body as it seeps into his chest. And his response to that is to let out a bit of a cough.
Bastard. Okay,
Bosco.
that's it.
I would like to cast Doggo Breath.
Okay.
Which will let me breathe out a cone of fire as an action for the next minute.
Okay.
And then I want to rush as quickly forward as I can to catch Lego and as many of the clockwork as possible. If I can get my cone of fire to just barely singe Kixik without actually doing damage, that would be a bonus.
Okay.
He's resistant.
So you have two options because of the necessary angles. You could get all of them, but you would get Kixik, or you could only get 3 of them and miss him. So that'll be your choice.
Kixik, how do you feel about deck saves?
I feel really good about them, honestly.
Okay.
You said deck save, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What are you planning?
Fire.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm fine with that. Oh wait, I'm a fucking tiefling. Like, yeah, go for it.
If you pass your saving throw, you'll take half, and then you're resistant to fire, so you take half of that.
Okay, cool.
So
yeah,
I'll catch them all.
It'll be like me touching a hot stove. Yeah, we're good for it.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So that'll do 3d6 damage. Dex save DC 13.
Yep. So make your deck save there, kid.
And I rolled really well, so I got a 14.
Okay, let's nice. I got a 21 basically.
Basically.
Well, I mean, I
okay.
did get a 21, so
Yeah.
So you should take 3?
Yeah.
It was 18 plus 3, yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, no, yeah.
okay.
I did 14
You said
damage.
14
half and
total.
half.
So half of 14 is 7, half of 7 is 3. Yeah. So you Kixik will take 3 points of damage as you're kind of on the outer portion of this cone of fiery breath that comes out. The
Ooh,
band person,
kind
like,
of a little warm.
Taika stepped forward, stabbed that one. As soon as she stepped back, you've kind of come forward. The ray of sickness comes. You breathe, and the one that she had stabbed just bursts. Like the wooden parts burst into flame, and the thing just topples over, stops functioning. The other 2, or the other 3, sorry, the other 3 have taken damage. You can see their scorch marks, like on the metal. It does look like it's been, like, certain parts have been heated, and Lego has to pat out part of his robe that is, like, kind of caught on fire as he's sitting there trying to deal with being pelted by the sickness and then this and everything. So he's like, and it's like, you get this feeling that just the look on his face is, nothing I've tried to do today has gone right. So, but he hasn't yet said it.
All right. And then I'm good to go after that. I'm just gonna try to move so I don't allow another cone like that to hit more than 2. But
yep. Okay, so that guy's gone, so he's out of the order. And that guy moves over to Kixik. If you would like, you can use your reaction because he kind of stumbles over his burnt friend's body and leaves you a nice opening for a reactive strike against him.
Oh, hell yeah, bro. We're going to go for that reactive strike with my pizza cutter of doomness. Which, hold on, let me take a look at my tray. Okay. So it's at disadvantage still. Okay, cool. What's my plus on that again? That's a plus, what would be, like a +4? Or is that just, no, it would just be strength, right?
Just your strength, yeah.
Okay, so that's +2, so it's 15 total.
15 total, yeah. So he's done this, tripped over this thing, and it's almost like It's almost like one of those domed trash cans that you used to see at movie theaters. The high kind of chrome dome on the thing is tipped over something, comes towards you, and you just are able to wail into it. So how do you want to end this poor mechanical man's existence?
Oh, I'm just gonna go in like slaughterhouse, but with sparks a flying. So I'm gonna do a nice X chop on it. Like one down, the other like eh eh hit on him. Obviously it's one hit, but in one foul swoop. So that'll be 2d10. That's what was damage on it, I think, right?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Another 5, 14. So 14 damage on him.
Yeah, which does end him. So
Hell yeah! I'm gonna do a little victory dance.
Kind of
while angry.
separated him in. And so the next thing, the last one comes up. Oh, jeez. That other one, is carrying a broken horn, and rather than actually attempt to seemingly attack, it just spins in a quarter circle, and the horn attached to it falls off. It's still alive, but it just seems to have completely malfunctioned.
Chalkboard will fly. Worst minions ever.
Then we're up at the top again, and that's when Lego's like, I cannot have any more of this. And he pulls. Let's see, no, because where you're at, yeah. Okay, so he pulls something from his pouch. It looks like one of those coins that you guys found in the cases at that one dwarven camp. He takes it in his hand, and you're close enough. Well, no, because you already took your reaction this round, though, didn't you? Yep. So,
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So you wouldn't be able to actually do anything. Well, those of you, well, no, because you can't really react with a spell unless you have a certain feat for that. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I want to make sure that I'm giving everybody their chance to react, but I don't think there's anybody that can actually actively react to this. Oh, wait, no. This is a new round. Kixik, you can react to it. So if you would like, you can get an attack on him. He's about to activate an item near you that
fuck yeah, I would. I don't think I had. There is no reckless attack, unfortunately. That's not something.
Yeah, there is.
Where?
Features and traits.
Am I just fucking stupid?
Possibly.
Yes, I am. Cool, thanks. Yes, I am. Yeah. Oh, but I can't. I have to use that. I can't use that as a reaction. I don't think.
No, you can't.
No.
No.
Well, okay. Well, guess who's going in for that reaction?
Okay.
Oh, fucking! Of course it does. The rage gives me a +2 on that shit. Okay.
On damage, yes.
Yeah. No, it also does it on checks and saving throws. Oh, not attacks. Never mind. Ha. Sorry. 16.
That will hit.
Yes. So it'll do the +2 attack. So we'll just do we're gonna do a little slicey, but this time I'm gonna go a little bit more elegant with my slice, but still angry. So I don't know. It's really aggressive. That is going to be 8 + 2, 10.
10 damage.
10 damage. You're gonna get the choppies.
Yeah, so you get a really nice, good swing on him as he's attempting to do this, and he says a word, and the coin falls to the ground, and his body kind of, well, what ends up happening is right directly behind him, this kind of, it almost looks like a mirror for a second appears, and these two black smoky arms reach out, grab him, and yank him through the mirror. You chop down, taking his left hand off.
Oh.
The coin
You'll
hits
need
the
that
ground.
later.
Yes, we
The
will.
coin hits the ground, and the mirror disappears. And now you
Lego
pretty
went with
much...
it?
What's up?
Lego went with the mirror?
Yeah,
Okay.
the Lego was kind of pulled into the mirror, and as he was pulled through this mirror thing, his hand was the last part that was out, and Kixit got that cut and just severed that hand.
Huh.
And there's a nice coin on the ground.
Ooh, a coin.
And there is one last band man, the one that's just kind of dropped his instrument, is kind of malfunctioning now. So I don't know what you guys want to do about him, but he doesn't appear to be a threat to you at this point.
He's good.
Give him a little bit of breath.
Are you going to perform CPR on him?
No,
I'm just going to breathe fire on him.
Oh.
he just sets him off, and it doesn't take too much. He kind of just crumples to the ground, and the bits that can catch on fire are still on fire for a few moments, and then it fades out. So now you have this coin on the ground, bits and pieces of these mechanical men. They might be worth something somewhere, but that'd be kind of like trying to salvage junk. You don't know how much it would be worth and where you could sell it. But now they're kind of not in your way, and you can head off towards the Dryad if you wish.
I'd like
Do it.
pick up that coin with Mage Hand.
Okay.
Toss
Quick
it to your
inspection.
Witcher.
Anything?
It's the same kinds of coins, like you said, the ones that you found in the thing, that they're platinum, that they were minted in the Abyss. And this one had a spell on it, obviously, because he activated it, so it no longer has any magic to it.
Okay, but it's still platinum, so
Yeah,
coin.
still a platinum coin.
And then yes, off to the Dryad.
So the rest of the way is not boring. The rest of the way is pretty boring. There's not much else going on. And you arrive there, and the tree... when you arrive there, the first thing that you see is there is someone has taken and carved out of the side of this mountain, what looks like a giant troll's mouth as the entrance to this cave, this mine. About 50 feet, about 30 feet in front of it is this large oak tree. The only oak tree that you see in this entire area. And next to this oak tree, there are several small groupings of these white-capped mushrooms that look a lot like the mushrooms that you saw underneath in Rustgrave. The ones that were attached to the fungi, the mushroom people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they look a lot like them, but the only thing that actually differentiates them from those is the top of these white mushrooms have like a little yellow dot. So, fairly certain they're not exactly the same thing, but they look a lot like it.
Okay. I'll bark a couple of times and flash on the chalkboard Hello, Dryad.
When you bark a couple of times, doesn't seem to be any response at first.
Why do people always ignore me? Bark, 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 bark.
Some more barks. You're barking a bit more. It's like, I have something to add to this conversation. Pay attention. I get that. And the Sprite in the jar is like, so I brought you here. You gonna let me go now?
Should we take a vote on this?
Oh, please get rid of him.
Do it.
All right. And I just uncork the jar, let him out.
He goes, thank you. Deals have been made. And he flies off and he heads over to this oak tree and kind of just seems to fly in to some of these branches and then just kind of fade away once he's in there. You have a feeling that he's not physically gone or anything, just hides very well within the protective nature of this tree. And then it's a moment or two, and then you hear like this yawning, creaking noise, and the tree itself kind of shivers like for a moment, and then it puts then just gigantic like branches go out, kind of like someone, like when you first wake up and you stretch out, this thing is stretching these limbs out of this tree, and the whole tree kind of uproots itself for a moment, and then a face kind of pushes out from it. It looks much like an older kind of female face. Has a large a couple of the knots in the trees kind of shift around from where they were to kind of positions of eyes, and it looks at you. It kind of, these little eye sockets that kind of almost blink, but there's no physical eyes there, and it's like, oh, my children, well, it's good to see you all. What can I do for you?
We were told you know what's going on, and we would like to also.
Oh, it's very simple. There was a group of adventurers. One of them was here recently, and unfortunately, I don't have the power to really deal with him, but his name was Lego, and he fancied himself a bard. He was not very good. He didn't even know any great songs, but that's besides the point. And since we're in a bit of a rush for time, I will tell you what I can tell you now. There was Lego and one that they called Mathis and three others that were a group of adventurers that somehow found themselves into the Feywild, where they put on a performance for one of the lords and stole his scepter of chaos. They brought it back here, and they brought it into this mine because there is a god here that they had hoped to release. And I stopped them. And the scepter, well, I thought the scepter was left there, but I found out, and due to my nature, I cannot do a whole lot further than around here. They were able to escape. Mathis, Lego, and the three others went, as far as I know, to different areas. My spies have told me that eventually Mathis and Lego settled in the same area, but they took this rod and have been using it to spread chaos in an attempt to release this god.
Why do people want to release gods?
But here's the funny thing. Here's the real funny thing. The god is not actually there. It's a big trick. Because the god is a big trick. The god just... He likes to see people do things to help him. But do, like, crazy things. Big things. Like, stage a show that makes it look like an entire city is being invaded. Magic.
Okay.
These rods, this rod, it creates... it makes illusions real. It makes things that don't exist, figments, dreams, nightmares, real. And he gains power the more his followers do this. And in exchange, he's given his followers this power. And I don't know all the details, except that Lego and the others had a conversation before they knew exactly what I was in front of me, that they were going to continue to try to find a way to release the spirit here that is in the mine. And they were going to use a plan. Lego had a plan to invade the city with his machines and cause chaos so that they could capture Mathis's daughter, because they think the god will the god would use her to release himself. I don't know. It might be true. It might not. That's the problem with these things. And it's just been my job to guard this for a long time. I can't go in. As you can see, I don't really have the means of traversing an underground whatever. But I've been trying to get in touch with, and the branch kind of points to Taika, for a while. And when I finally got in touch with her, it didn't go quite well. And it's not her fault. It's the interference of what they were doing.
Okay, so Lego has a chaos rod. And shouldn't.
And shouldn't. No, because it belongs to one of the Fey Lords.
Sure.
Yeah. And
the important takeaway there is Lego.
Yep. But what's kind of the other thing is the Fey Lord doesn't care in the long run. Because why would he? It's mortal concerns. It's not,
I get that.
He's vaguely unhappy that one of his toys were taken, but, whatever. So it's my understanding that the 5 of them, well, what they said in front of me before they knew what I was, that the 5 of them were going to meet in a place called Abigail in about, which now would have been, they said that about 3 years ago, which now would have been probably about 2 weeks from now. But that's, I don't know, maybe 2, 4, I don't know, a while. But I don't know what you've already kind of accomplished what I was seeking you out for. You've chased Lego away, and apparently the rod is no longer functioning for him.
Oh, the rod was destroyed?
My friend tells me that when Lego attempted to assault you a few minutes ago, it broke.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if that was a permanent problem.
Well, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, like I said, I can't really traipse around underground. But if there is anything left, it would be in the mine.
Okay.
But that's what I can tell you. I mean, I can't sense it necessarily, but if it broke now, I could sense it before it broke, and I can't sense it now. That could mean a couple of things. It could mean it's gone, or it could mean the power that's invested in it is depleted so low that I couldn't sense it.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Should we search the mine to be certain? I don't know.
I mean, it would be quite gracious of you to do that for me, to search this mine, since, like you said, I can't go traipsing through the mine myself.
Yeah,
and
you're gonna
my
betray us
spies,
like fucking Leko did, huh?
and my spies are not, they're not suited for traveling underground. My messengers are quite adept at getting places, but not great at dealing with hazardous things.
Then I guess we're searching the mine.
Let's do it.
Indeed.
Yes.
And with that agreement, we will call it the end of the session tonight, because there's 2 minutes to go. Things were a little rusty, but I think on my end, and I think what part of that is we haven't really done this in a few weeks. Yeah. And I think that we'll get back into it. And I want to let everybody do their exits, and I only have one other simple thing to say. I think
Nick's hit his maximum capacity for attention span.
Yeah.
Hence why my camera is turned off, because
your camera is not turned off.
No, the stream camera is.
Oh, okay. So the final thing that I have to say about this is I want to thank everybody, the players, any viewers that have come. This is, a learning process, doing it this way, doing it online, doing it with a group of people that are in a few different places, trying to arrange things, trying to get tech going and everything. It's great. It's fun. I'm having a blast. My name is Derek. You can find me at Disposable Idiot on Twitter, and I'm gonna pass it off to Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. You can find me at KatieBugs, just about anywhere. Instagram is where I hang out the most. I'm post stupid shit. And I'm gonna pass to Rozzy.
I'm just trying to figure out why I can't type. I am Cinder Wizard on Twitter and Instagram, and Cinder_Wizard on PlayStation. I recently got back to Division 2 because I accidentally bought the wrong DLC, so I'm just gonna finish it because fuck it, it was $20. So anyway, come play with me and Nick. We play Modern Warfare right now. But yes, Kevin.
I'm Kevin. Track me down at Evil Sales on Twitter. I am there most of the time. When I'm at home, I'm usually playing Marvel Strike Force or Stellaris. I'm really looking forward to Crusader Kings 3 coming out soon. So if any of those things are on your fan list, hit me up. I'm always willing to gab about things that are not work related or complain about work. I do that. So then we're going to pass things off to the black spot known as Nick.
Nikolai.
Yes, my camera's off because my lights are off because my eyes are burning for some reason. But hi, yes, Blue Aura 94YT on Twitter and Blue Aura 94 on PSN and pretty much everywhere else. Catch me just uploading constant pictures of my cats during the week on Instagram because why not? And I love cuddling and harassing them. And yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm gonna pass it off to Derek.
I think we've already done that, so
Oh
we
shit!
can,
Hi. Okay. Bye.
we can end
The
it
only
for
thing
the
that left
night.
to do
Bye.
is
No. You have been muted.